To avoid an accident in Vietnam, you need to get used to the way Vietnamese people drive. And honestly, they drive pretty badly. Traffic rules are barely followed. So I've identified a few warning signs where you need to slow down, stay alert, and watch out while riding a scooter in Vietnam. During this ride, I will try to show you all of them. Alright, here is the first example, take a look. Most intersections in Vietnam don't have main road or yield signs, so the driver who reaches the intersection first typically goes first. But when multiple vehicles arrive at the same time, the one on the right is supposed to have priority. The problem is most people here don't follow that rule, so you need to slow down or even stop to make sure it is safe to proceed. Wow, what a beautiful seafront street. This is the Da Nang promenade. I love riding through here. The view is just amazing. As for pros, in major Vietnamese cities, almost everyone wears a helmet. Notice the red sign. Running a red costs 20 million dong for cars, which is around 800 bucks, and 6 million dong for motorbikes, which is around 240. And yes, you can see traffic police here from time to time. But you don't need to worry about traffic police in Vietnam. If you are wearing a helmet, the chances of being stopped are very low. I've been pulled over only 3 times in 10 months. Twice because I actually broke the rules, and once was just a routine check. Oh guys, the weather is so nice today. It is September, the start of the rainy season in the central Vietnam. Yesterday we had a heavy downpour, but today the weather is just perfect. Here we have a roundabout. I'm from Russia, and back home the rule is simple. If there are no signs or traffic lights, the cars already on the circle have the right of way. But in Vietnam things work differently. At intersections you really need to move slowly. Low speed is the only way to offset the lack of rule following. In Da Nang the roundabouts aren't too busy, but I remember the one in Saigon that was pure chaos. Ooh, here is something else I wanna point out. So this road has 4 lanes. The far left one is only for cars. The third is for both cars and scooters, and the rest are for scooters and bicycles. I've never actually seen anyone fined for breaking this rule, but it's better not to push your luck. Notice how the Vietnamese riders are all waiting in the shade. So let's do the same. Oh wait, nope, all the shady spots are already taken, so basically they just wait there until the light turns green. I do this a lot too, it really helps, especially on hot days. Today I didn't put on my arm sleeves, so I will end up with a nice little t-shirt tan line, but well, not a big deal. By the way, check this out. See that guy switching lanes without using his turn signal? So nobody knows what he's about to do. You just have to predict moves like this from experience. And look at this guy in front of us. His scooter doesn't even have mirrors. That means he has no idea what's going on behind him and could suddenly swerve right into us. And the scooter I'm riding is really quiet, so people barely hear me coming. Back when I had a sport bike with a moderately loud exhaust, it was different. Drivers could hear me and would usually give way. So that's actually an advantage of motorcycles and modified exhausts. People notice you and are less likely to cut into your lane. In Vietnam, traffic is generally slow, but very dense. Right now it's not too packed, but if you ever find yourself in Saigon, I mean Ho Chi Minh City, during rush hour, you will really understand what dense traffic means. And for locals, this is totally normal. They've been used to it since childhood, but for me it is not, and probably won't be for you either. That's why keeping distance is so important. You never know when someone will brake or suddenly switch lanes. And it's not just about front and back, you need space on the sides too. By the way, drivers here almost never stop for pedestrians. In Vietnam, pedestrians are at the very bottom of the traffic food chain. I used to be one myself, so I know the struggle. Oh look, more people standing in the shade. Let's do the same. Pull over into the shade for a bit and rest. No need for sunburn for nothing, right? And here is another example of silly behavior. That guy honked for no reason. Vietnamese drivers honk a lot, often just to say I'm coming through, as if that automatically gives them priority. Oh my god, what is he doing? His blinker says left, but he's actually drifting right. Oh, you've got to be ready for stuff like this. This little trick of theirs is called a U-turn from the far right lane. So let me show you with that girl up ahead. She's riding in her lane, then drifts to the right to make a U-turn. So instead she should move to the left before turning, so at least we know her intentions, but instead she will either cut across all the traffic or just wait until everyone passes. I still want to show you my favorite Vietnamese road special. I call it no look turn. Honestly, it's my favorite. It cracks me up every time. When I see it, I can't help but think Vietnamese riders must have 9 lives. You'll recognize it right away when it happens. Oh, did you catch that? The guy just turned straight into oncoming traffic to make his turn here. So you've got to be ready for this. At intersection, someone might not turn into their own lane, but right into yours. Oh, and by the way, Vietnamese riders usually start moving 2-3 seconds before the red light ends. So I guess waiting for green is just too long for them. So here we are passing the Korean market in Da Nang. You can buy almost any kind of cigarettes around here. Not inside the market itself, but from the vendors nearby. Like this guy, for example. And they are really cheap too, about $1 or $2 a pack. That's why when my friends come over from Bali to Da Nang, they stock up on 40 cigarettes here. By the way, notice how Vietnamese women dress when riding a scooter. This woman here is wearing a special suit that covers her from head to ankles to protect her from the sun. And this younger woman is in a hoodie and jeans, also just to avoid getting a tan. And over there, that girl in shorts and a white tank top, definitely a tourist. See the difference? Vietnamese rider, tourist rider, super easy to tell apart. Oh, and she's actually on an electric bike, pretty cool. And this is the Dragon Bridge in Da Nang. From Friday to Sunday at 9 PM, the dragon breathes fire and water. It's a fun show to see once or twice. Da Nang really is a beautiful city. I remember arriving here in September 2023 and instantly falling in love with it. But of course it has its downsides too. I will talk about those in another video. So yeah, the city is great, but I'm not sure about long-term life here. Oh, excuse me, I'd like to stop here in the shade for a bit, if that's okay. Oh, and up ahead, see that road? Scooters and bicycles aren't allowed on it. In Vietnam there are intercity roads like this, so if you are on a bike you'll need to take a bypass road instead. Oh, that's a cool sign. It says turning right on the red light is allowed. In Thailand it's the opposite, you can turn left since they drive on the left side, but it's not allowed everywhere. By the way, right now I'm living in Bangkok, Thailand, but before that I lived here in Da Nang, Vietnam. That's why on this YouTube channel and on social media I share what life is like in both Vietnam and Thailand. So if that sounds interesting, feel free to subscribe and follow me on Instagram. I've also covered a lot of common questions on my website maratnomad.com. Things like how to pay by QR code in Thailand, how to travel around by train, why I go to Vietnam for dental care, and more. All based on my own experience. Ooh, see that? It turned straight into oncoming traffic, and there they go, riding against the flow. This is the kind of thing you're never really ready for. It's just crazy. I'm used to it now, but at first I was like, guys, what are you doing? And here is a guy just cruising in the wrong lane. In Vietnam, riding against traffic is considered totally normal. The pedestrian crossing is partly blocked, so it's safer to slow down. Intersections are always high risk too, so I take it easy there as well. I've had an accident before and I definitely don't want to repeat, so better to arrive a little late than not at all. I mean, yes, you might technically be right. Riding on green, you have the priority, but on the road it's better to be wrong and safe than right and injured. Oops, they just cut into my lane while turning. So see how they pull out onto the road from the shoulder? They don't wait for the traffic to clear. They just turn straight into the opposite lane and then slowly merge over. And there it is, my favorite, no look turn. The guy turned without even glancing to the side or slowing down. That was it. Did you notice my hand twitch on the handlebar? Whoo, what a rush. Missing some adrenaline? Come to Vietnam. Let's turn right here. And do you know where we are heading now? To a great spot, Bac Mian Market. I used to come here a lot to buy some fruits and vegetables. Prices are super cheap. For example, oranges cost only 12 to 14,000 dong, about 50 cents per kilo. I'd usually grab 3 kilos and make fresh orange juice. So let's ride through the market on the bike just like the locals, but very carefully. So here they sell fruits, veggies and seafood. I used to live right next to this market and I visited it pretty often. So look, here are coconuts for just 60 cents, nice, right? And here comes a Vietnamese lady riding straight at me. They even sell pineapples already sliced, jackfruit, avocados, watermelons. So hey, you are getting a little bit Da Nang tour at the same time. Whoops, I turned straight into the oncoming lane. Oh, that was unpleasant. So as for the road quality, it is mostly fine, but sometimes you will hit potholes or wavy asphalt near highway crossing caused by heavy trucks. Nice, the whole family on one scooter, dad, mom and a kid. Whoa bro, why are you riding straight at me? There are so many cafes along the streets and that is awesome. This is one of the things I love about Da Nang, the cozy streets. When I first came here, that's exactly what I fell for. Well, okay, there was also one Vietnamese girl, but that's another story. I remember once the traffic police stopped me for speeding. I was 20 kilometers per hour over the limit. The official fine was from 32 to 40 bucks. Of course, you can usually settle it on the spot. But honestly, it's better not to break the rules because the fines here can be steep. Just think back to that red light ticket from $240 to $800. Oh, nice move, cutting across a double solid line. Alright guys, to wrap things up, here are my 3 recommendations for riding safely on the road in Vietnam. Firstly, anticipate the situations I showed in this video. I've lived in Vietnam for 10 months and traveled through different provinces, so watch carefully and keep these examples in mind. Secondly, always yield and ride slowly. It's better to arrive late from point A to point B than not to arrive at all. And finally, make sure you have travel medical insurance that covers riding a scooter abroad. That's it from me, Marat, the digital nomad. See you soon in the next videos.